goes to work. What's wrong? It's one of those days. And every day he wonders what is happening to him.
Jacob's Ladder is a 1990 psychological horror movie directed by Adrian Lyne and written by Bruce Joel Rubin. It stars Tim Robbins as a traumatized Vietnam War vet who begins to encounter disturbing imagery as his line between reality and fantasy becomes ever more blurred. It's widely known that the film inspired the Silent Hill series of psychological horror games, but what scenes influence what? That's what I hope to answer today with this video. This isn't going to be a full narrative analysis of the films or the games, but rather I intend to explain what elements of the movie influence parts of the games, mainly SH2 and 3. Let's start at the beginning. While there are no actual war scenes in the Silent Hill games, the opening scene of Jacob's Ladder, where the protagonist, Jacob Singer, is stabbed by a bayonet only to wake up on a subway, is reminiscent of Harry's trip down the alley in SH1.
What's going on here?
Or Heather's amusement park nightmare from SH3. In both scenes, the character seemingly dies before waking up in a different location, and the audience is left to wonder if what we just saw was real or not. Immediately, the rundown subway that Jacob rides is recognizable as the same type of car Heather must travel through to reach home. When exiting the train, Jacob notices a large tentacle-like appendage protruding from a nearby sleeping homeless person. The same tentacle design influenced the unnamed sewer monster from SH3. If Heather does not electrocute the monster before attempting to cross a bridge, it will drag her into the murky depths below. As Jacob explores the abandoned subway station, we can see many visual elements that would make it into SH3. Chained up doors, dirty graffiti-covered walls, and a general darkness would all be carried over into the otherworld aesthetic. This shot specifically looks exactly like the train platform Heather must jump down from to proceed, where she risks being run over in order to flip a switch needed to progress. Jacob must also attempt to cross the tracks and is nearly hit by a train in the same manner that Heather barely dodged one in SH3. When walking home from work, Jacob is targeted, and someone or something attempts to run him over. After barely dodging the oncoming car, Jacob gets a brief glimpse of some kind of creature in the back seat, erratically vibrating its head around. This kind of motion was achieved by filming at 6 FPS, then playing back the reel at 24 FPS. This head shake effect has appeared numerous times in the Silent Hill series, but here are a few notable examples. The carousel horses, the nurses, the closer, Valtiel, the glutton, and the lying figures to a lesser extent. When trying to get back in contact with an old squad mate, Jacob has a rather nasty interaction with a nurse who turns him away and tells him a Dr. Carlson has never worked there. When she bends down, her hat slips off, and Jacob sees some kind of tooth-like growth protruding from her skull. This serves as a possible influence for the puppet nurses from Silent Hill 1, as they also have similar growths, albeit much bigger. Jacob attends a party and goes to get some beers from the fridge. Inside, he also finds a dog's skull. This design could be a possible influence for the dog enemies from SH1. As he tries to dance with his girlfriend, he is overcome by visions of horrible beasts. One demon in particular resembles a man with a cloth over his face, who we will revisit later. Some sort of large creature begins being intimate with Jacob's girl and ends up impaling her through the mouth. Similarly, sexual horror is seen when Pyramid Head is first encountered in SH2, as well as his subsequent appearances. Paul, another squad mate of Jacob's, contacts him about seeing what he calls demons. In the scene where they talk, Paul is wearing a coat similar to James Sunderland's from SH2. In fact, starting in the next scene, Jacob dons a military-issue M65 olive drab field jacket, the exact same jacket James wears during his journey. This is one of the clearest visual parallels between the two works. Jacob is abducted after prying too much into the military's secret dealings, and while escaping confinement, nearly paralyzes himself with a nasty back injury. He is then taken to a hellish nightmare hospital, and this is the scene that truly inspired Silent Hill. The rundown hospital was essentially digitally recreated for parts of SH2 and 3. The bicycle Jacob passes mirrors the many overturned wheelchairs in the Silent Hill games, such as this one at the beginning of the first game. As his gurney is wheeled underneath a cage-like ceiling, Jacob sees deformed humans crawling around and a fan spinning. The crawling deformities could be an influence for the mandarins from SH2, which similarly are only encountered when James is standing on cage-like floors. The spinning fan has become such an iconic part of Silent Hill that it is featured in almost every single game in the series, starting all the way back with 1. Jacob again sees the man with a cloth over his face, with his head violently contorting. This time, the figure is bound inside a metal frame, which influenced the way that similar wall-mounted figures look. After the big twist of the movie is revealed, Jacob appears to go back to his home, though at this point in the story, it's very difficult to tell what's really going on. The long, contemplative sit that Jacob engages in mirrors James's own moment of reflective realization near the end of SH2. Those were all the parallels I could find between this film and these games. I've bound to have missed something, so if there's anything that you noticed that I didn't, let me know. This movie was a ride, that's for sure. It gave me a feeling of unease without resorting to too much shock or gore to make its point. Jacob's Ladder gets to the root of psychological horror and takes you on a mind-bending journey through a destroyed and broken man's psyche. And I'm so glad that Team Silent was able to take this imagery and transform it into a uniquely terrifying game series. If Silent Hill Revelation disappointed you, and let's be real, it did, then Jacob's Ladder serves as a fantastic unofficial SH movie that will leave you guessing long after the credits have rolled. This is a movie I just can't stop thinking about, and I hope that passion has come across in this video. Let me know what you think, and I'll see y'all in the next one.
'Cause I can be the one for you every day. Honey, this ain't making love to you